All right, evening, Clayton. How you doing, buddy?
Good. Just checking out the Rumble. Hey, everybody. There's one over there, but it'll increase hopefully. But hey, yeah, I'll tell you what. Doesn't Mike do great work?
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
Oh,
Mikey D does damn good work
uh,
on those videos.
so,
That was right at the end of there. That was Mike's handiwork, and we got a few other ones. I'm sure throughout the
oh yeah.
show here we'll hit up on there. And I do a few things, but I'm definitely not Mike on the computer on the videos. So, all right,
He's
so I gotta turn this volume up. I can't. All right, here we go. Whoa, there we go. All right, hey guys, what's up? Josh P, what's up? Eric Newman, evening. Eric, Brian Warner, good evening, my fellow MVEs. All right, so tonight, Clay and I are going to hit on right off the top. We're going to hit on AR-15s, build or buy. Clayton just built one. I've built plenty of them. It's probably been hashed over before, but not like me and Clay are going to do it, right, Clay?
yeah. I probably haven't been around ARs as much as you have. Probably. I know people think I have, but I haven't.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. And then after that, I bought two suppressors. And guess what, guys? I already got them. I'm going to tell you when I paid for them, did all the paperwork, where I got them, and how fast I got them. It's quite impressive, and it is a joy to have them. They're sitting right over here like some newborn babies right next to me here. And then Clay's in the market for a new UTV or two. We're going to talk a little UTV and some side by sides, and then last but not least, we're going to do the celebrity shit stain of the week, and it's pretty disappointing. I've talked about this one to Clayton. We both liked the guy, and now we definitely wouldn't pee on him if he was on fire. And then we got a big announcement, guys. We're gonna have a special show Saturday night. We got a special guest, somebody running for office here in North Dakota. We're gonna try and learn a little more about his views on the Second Amendment and guns and whatnot. But we'll tell you that at the end of the show. He's kind of, I want to say he's controversial. Would you, Clay? He's just kind of people kind of want to know more about the guy.
I think that the less they know about him, it makes him controversial. You know how
Good
that
point. Good point,
yeah.
buddy. Good point. All right. So who else we got here chiming in, Clay? We got a few. Hey, Lynette.
Josh, I see, is doing a water pump in his car. So I can't think of a better way to listen and work right now. So hey,
yeah, I'm glad he doesn't have a mic on because I put in a few water pumps and some unsavory words could come out of your mouth doing that for sure.
you can you know what? You can plant some wrenches too in the yard, and they don't grow no matter how time you do it.
All right, so let's say Clay and I are going to hit on AR-15s, build them or buy them. What should you do? So Clay, I just built one, and I built oh heck, I don't even know how many ARs I built, 8 to 10, maybe more with my friends. But what made you, Clay, decide you wanted to build one instead of buy one?
Well, I just always wanted to do it. I just never had, and I happened to have a lower. I had some other things here. I didn't have an upper, and I had all the parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know I've talked to you. How many times did I talk to you? You got to show me how to do this. Everybody said, "Oh, it's not that hard." I talked to David over there at 1760 Sport. I mean, everyone I've talked to, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. So I ordered that. In fact, you ordered one first. It was the 6.5. They had that Christmas special. I was like, well, I'm in on that. So I ordered one of them, and I started watching some YouTube videos. I talked with you, and I talked to a couple other people. Then, it didn't take long. I changed out some parts. I did a few other things to it, and boom, I built my first AR on a AR-15. I did get the other magazine, the one for the 6.5 Trendo.
I did see you had the bigger one there on the after show of the guns drinks with the 701.
I did. I went ahead and got. I ordered a bunch. I ordered different sizes from David. Threw a little business Dave's way, and got the actual 6.5, so I didn't have to change the ramps and all that stuff. So it seems like it's working. I've only shot a few rounds through it.
Yeah.
So
go ahead, Clash. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that's what made me do it. Plus, I got to show you this. Especially in the political climate today. Here's my lower. I got the Trump Punisher on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We both got the same. That's the Anderson Arms. They call it the Poverty Pony, which we'll get into a little bit here. But I don't have that same opinion of it. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's a nice gun. Got a stainless steel barrel in it. It's just, I'm very happy so far with it. I haven't shot it a ton, but I'm gonna look. I'll tell you this. I'm looking forward to building more. I'm kind of hooked on it now, and that's what they say. It's just another bad habit I needed. It's going to cost me money. So.
Right, right, right. And you know, the thing is, when you start building ARs and buying, you start getting a bunch of parts together. This is what I've
Right.
noticed from building them, and pretty soon you got a big bin full of parts, and you're like, you know what, I can almost build
Build
another
a whole
one with
gun.
this.
Yep.
Yeah, which
And I
I've done.
and I kind of had that from making modifications to some of the ones I had. And I'm like,
Right.
oh, really, all I need is an upper anymore. But I will tell you that if you look at this one, I did take the Magpul and I put the sights on top up there. I did
Yep.
not put a scope on it. I may do that, but right now I like that. I can tell you though, that little what were them aim things we had for our glasses?
Yeah, then
I
peep sight thing, like you
Yes,
stick them on your glasses, and it makes you be able to see your iron sights real good.
it does. They work even though there's no lens there. It does whatever it does to your pupil. So I bought them so I could use them peep sights, and I was very happy. I'll probably bring it up with when we do 2A day here next
Yeah,
month,
yeah, for sure.
and I'm very happy with it. I can't tell you, I'm hooked. I'm going to be building more.
So what do you think was the? Not like you said, it's not very difficult. I mean, if you are somewhat handy, I mean, there's some things you got to watch out for, like springs flying out, and then I mean,
Right.
definitely if you get into it, have a spare spring kit around because I don't give a damn who you are, you're going to lose a spring.
I did it right away. I did
Yeah,
it right
and you
away,
just freeze, and you're like, "Where is it? Where is it? Where is
and
it?" Ting, and you hear them hit.
I'd heard about this problem, so when I did it, I kind of had I don't know, it was like a cloth around me here, so that when it did, it hit that and landed on the table. They're not very big, so
No, no,
I
they
was
are
okay.
small.
So hey, I see Kevin's back. My goodness,
Yeah, hey Kevin, how you
Kevin,
doing, buddy?
where you
Thanks for
been?
joining.
I
Yeah.
thought maybe you're mad at us. We haven't heard from you. Jeez, out there in Pennsylvania.
hmm Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Doug said you might as well get it out of the way right away, Clay, when you lose that spring there.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, it was a good lesson learned when I took that apart and did some modification to it and changed
Yeah.
out the end of that.
So
Box.
did you use the actual factory trigger springs, or did you put an aftermarket trigger in that yet?
Nope,
Or
I left them alone because I can tell you what I want to do. I have a binary trigger that'll go in there,
hmm
and they tell me it isn't real tough. It's just again keeping track of the springs and doing what you're doing. I want to try and
yeah,
install a binary trigger on that, and I think that'll make that kind of fun.
yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, the springs do suck. I mean,
Yeah,
when you put the trigger in, you got to bend them. I mean, it's better to do it a 2-man job, but you
yeah,
push it down. Actually, you can put a punch through there and then just kind of a
right.
slave pin through. Yeah, but
Yep. And that's what
yeah,
I kind of seen online. So who
and I
knows?
did.
I might come up to your place and go, all right, let's see if we can tackle this.
Yeah, let's do it, man. It's always easier when you got help, and like if you're building it and somebody's like, yeah, you can throw one together in like an hour and a half, and you just plan on longer now because like a lot of stuff you do, it's always
Yep.
going to take you freaking longer. But
Parts
so
are parts, and they can have variances. I mean, unless you're buying machined parts, that's one thing I learned right away building that one is there are things that don't exactly fit probably, but they will. You just got to work at it a little
yeah,
bit.
so I mean, so after you did it, Clay, did you feel like a little more sense of pride and ownership and having that thing, or did you just like you bought one? It's the same thing to you. What do you think?
No, it's like anything else. I think you build or fix or work on. You're just
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I built that. Check this out.
yeah,
It's I'll be building more. I've bought all of them up to that point. I have changed things on them. Like I said, I've put different things, put different butts, stocks on it, maybe added rails to it, whatever it might be. But now I want to build them, and I want to go more. So I want to get more parts and do more of a complete build. I pretty much had the basic parts and put them together.
hmm
Like everyone keeps telling me, it's Tinker Toys for men. So it probably is.
Well, you always want to make something, kind of put your own mark on it. A lot of people do, and put your own flavor. I mean, that's one thing I love. And bolt rifles are actually getting like that a little more too. But ARs, you can personalize them to what you like. Your colors, you can go to like Strike Industries, and
Absolutely.
they got red, blue, pink, purple, orange, any damn color stuff. I mean, not just them, but a lot of these companies got that kind of stuff. And I
Yep.
still want to do. I know Axe has done a few of them with the red on, and we do videos. I kind of rib them about it just to be kidding around, but I do want to do like just almost an all red, just a red and black Trump. I'll tell you what, if Trump wins the presidency this fall, I'm gonna make myself a Trump AR. How's that?
I am too. I've had that already on my mind going, I want a Trump 47. I really do. And I think
That's great, man. You better get into building AKs then. Trump 47.
Well, I actually had that
But
idea. Can you imagine having the AK-47, the Trump AK-47? Other than
oh man,
it's not a United States gun, but
yeah.
we do have
But
legacy arms that makes them for centuries. So
you know what you can do though? You can get the ARs that are come in 7.62 by 3.9. No, the AK-47 round basically, and call it that.
I just I know I got to have something Trump to trigger some people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, building your own, it does give you a little sense, and like I said, you're not building a rocket, but I mean, it does. No. It is a lot of fun doing it. They have a trinary trigger now, huh?
Really? That's something. I don't know, Doug, if they're being serious, but yeah, if they do, I don't have a 3-shot burst gun.
Sounds fun.
Not that anybody knows of it anyway.
Yeah. So I just kind of put together real quick here, Clay. The last one I did build, and I looked it up, and the cost of it comes in right around $1,100, and then you're gonna have to pay tax, right? It was a Stag tactical, and I did get it in the FDE, which man, FDE has always been my favorite, but I think the next one I build, other than the Trump gun, I want to do like the OD green, because they got like that anodized green. Aero Precision does those, and you can get like the upper and lower receivers for a little over $300. They're there you go. Franklin Armory does do the Franklin Armory makes a lot of cool shit. Actually.
I'm gonna have to check that out, Axe. That really intrigued me. See, great. Now I get to spend more money.
Yeah. So I just kind of loosely, and this isn't everything I added. This was just like my basic stuff that I bought from it. It was a Stag. It was almost all Stag, other than the trigger. I bought a lower parts kit without the trigger and the grip, because I mean you can buy them, because I can't stand regular AR grips. I always got to get like a nice Hogue something a rubber molded the finger. So that all came. You can get like the combo, what comes with the barrel. It's not God's twist, so that's what pissed me off. It was a 1 in 7. I like the 1 in 8, but it does shoot good. I mean, you've seen some of the groups I've shot. It shoots real good, most ammo. But you get a barrel and a handguard combination. That was $350. The upper and lower. The upper, it says the upper was assembled, not with the barrel on it, but when we say an upper is assembled, it's the forward assist, which I put them in. It's not. I mean, it's a 5-minute job. It's pretty easy. But I was like, you know what, the price difference was minuscule, so I just said, yeah, give me that with that. And that upper came, the upper and lower, and that was $335, and like I said, the barrel and the handguard is $350. It's a nice, real low profile, kind of like you got on yours and mine on the Palmetto. Yeah. I mean, they're real. Most forehands now are real close to the barrel, which I like. I don't like that big bulky. For a shit hit the fan gun or something, that's cool. But the total of that with the trigger, and then you got to buy the lower parts kit and a buffer tube kit. It was $935. So in all actuality, building my own, I probably saved myself $175. But hey, that's probably 200 rounds of ammo at Double H Guns or Mandan Sport.
There you go. Absolutely, yeah, and then that's a good place to spend it. I will say that I've shot a lot of ARs ever since I bought my first one. Guys, I never owned an AR until Obama got elected. Not that I was against them. I just like,
thanks, Barack.
Yeah, and then when he wanted to ban them, I was like, well, then I got to get a whole bunch of them. The hell with him. And then when I did that, of course, with me, I always want to learn what I can. So I do know that I enjoy a piston-driven one. Like Daniel's Defense makes a great one. That's a fantastic firearm, but you don't have to have them. If you want to use a gas-powered, that's great. But I do prefer the piston-driven, especially when you're doing some hard and heavy stuff with it. It just seems like it takes more of a beating. And I guess that's where I'm at. Especially if you're going to put a binary trigger in there, I think you definitely want the piston-driven with all the hardened.
That would be good for that. But piston guns,
pound that out.
They do cost more, and you can get kits for them to put on.
And I haven't built one of them, but might be mine. I want to build a couple more of the others, and then maybe build one of them. I just I want to build more guns, which is it's not bad.
and like build, if you're gonna just recently found this out. If with Axe out at his place with the Grendel. It came with the adjustable gas block. You kind of asked me about it. You know what I did with that, Clay?
What'd you
I
do?
junked that piece of shit. That thing's because if you notice, you can't adjust it with the the fore end on it, the hand guard.
Right.
I pulled that off. I bought an Aero Precision for Midway, like $60. Took it out to Dougie's. And it did make a big difference. We had it adjusted down with the suppressor on to where the brass was going a neat little pile to the back and to the right, which is where your brass is actually supposed to.
So
they say
what you're saying is I should order one of them and put it in mine.
Yeah. And then and you come up, or if you don't want to do it and you're up here sometime, bring it over. Yeah. And if you're gonna go ahead,
Gene, he chimed in there. He says an AK is piston drive. Yeah, and that's probably why they're so damn tough.
Long stroke piston, yeah. But hey, I tell you what, you can go on YouTube and all the videos, and I mean, the ARs are running just as good as the piston guns did.
I like the AKs. I like them all. I really love the one I built. I'll be building more. I've always wanted one in a 6mm, so just a straight 6mm, and you can build them in that. Heck, I know a couple guys got 243. They were using them in the coyote hunts when we were doing them. That's years ago, and they were using AR-15s. We actually had guys that didn't. They're like, "Yeah, are you going to allow ARs in there?" I said, "Why wouldn't I? They're just a semi-automatic rifle. What the heck's the problem?" Right, think about that. Nowadays we have thermals and night vision and everything else. And back then there were guys in our hunt that were worried about because someone was using an AR-15. Oh,
yeah. Or you just keep walking them in. Well, I can tell you that too. Just walking it in on them doesn't always work either. In fact, it usually doesn't work. But yeah, and so I'll tell you what, Clay. It's 7:17. Well, let's do our first break here, and then we'll come back, and I'm going to compare some builds, and let's go with like lower. I'm going to say low, like 500 and under ARs. And then the mid price, 500 to 1,500, and then above that. And then we'll kind of talk about that a little bit, and we'll go from there, buddy. Yeah, my bad. I was going to hit the commercial.
Repair located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Boom. All right. Sure.
Yeah.
I jumped in there before you did that.
You want to get on some of these comments, Clay, before we move on here a little bit?
Yeah. Basically, we got Kevin. He said, "Hey," he goes, "doing great. Hopefully, Yin's heart as well, or are also." So, Kevin hasn't been on for a while.
Yeah, good to see you back, Kevin.
One shot. He says, "My son built 2 ARs and 1 SBR. Oh, them evil short-barreled rifles.
Ooh.
Oh." And of course, Doug mentioned the trinary, and I'm going to look at that. I'm intrigued with that now. So yeah,
I like that. That sounds good.
Bradley, I bought a Typhoon 12. I keep in the house in 12 gauge. I just can't bring myself to justify an AR for my use.
Yeah. Oh man, hey Brad, you got the perfect
self-defense gun.
I mean, them Typhoon 12s, Clay. I don't know if you've seen them. You probably have, but I mean, those things look like they're wiping out 12 home invaders just by looking at it. Those are some badass looking. That's a badass looking shotgun right there. I like that. I love those things. So.
Oh yeah, I'll have to see what I can find.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So, all right. So I'm going to just do some comparisons here, Clay, on if you're going to buy one, right? So I told you I'll skip to the middle one right away because I'll tell you right now, the one that I built, I did say that. I guess it was 1,100. I saved myself a little bit. So the lower, coming in at 500. If I was going to, did you find the Typhoon?
I did. You want me to throw it up there?
Yeah, go for it.
There it is, right there. Yeah, that's it. That's a 12 gauge. I guess I thought that's probably what it was, but yeah, I tell you what, to me that's what I should have. All I got.
Oh man, that's a thing of beauty, man. And I tell you what, they come in like the red, white, and blue versions too, which would really be good. Which that's a sweet looking shotgun. I actually like to pheasant hunt with that, just to piss off people who don't think you should. I actually prefer a single or a double barrel for pheasant hunting.
It's a weapon of war.
So it's a single shot 12 gauge, brother. Right? You know that. So let's just go in. If you're going to get in entry level, just like, hey man, I want an AR just for, like you said, Clay. Some jerks in office who wants to ban them, and I think I need them. The government says I don't need it. I think I do need it.
That's what I did.
I would go with like the PSA. I got some PSA stuff. PSA, like Clay's got that up, or I got the 6.5 Grundle. I got videos out there. That Grundle shoots freaking lights out, and I just shot it again last week with some reloads. 120 grain Spear Gold Dot, 300 and 400. I mean, I nailed one shot in. My buddy John was there. I mean, he's like, "You gonna shoot some more?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess I don't have to." Anyway, PSA sells ARs for less cost than they're actually worth, and they got one, like I said, 500 and under. The PSA PA15, 16-inch nitride M4 carbine. It actually comes with the most stock, and you get a nice rubberized grip, like I was talking about. And the Magpul 4N 30 rounder, $499, man. I mean, this is like $200 less than you should be paying for this thing. This is and they shoot good. They shoot real good, and I don't. If you're looking, it's kind of like Clay. What was the first one you had? We were talking about the other day in the DPMS. What was that?
AP4.
Man,
the AP4s, those were a great introductory, and that was my very first one I purchased. And that's why I did it, because that was a very affordable. I think I paid $480 for it plus tax. I mean, think about that.
Yeah, I mean, when Trump was in, they were down to like $350. I saw them, so I'm like, my God, I should buy like 3 of these things. And I'll tell you what, honestly, I've never seen an AP4 that doesn't shoot like right around an inch either. Those things.
Oh, mine
DPMS said, make cheap stuff, but man, those things shot so good. It was, man, if anybody missed out on them $350 ones, that was, get yourself one of these, get yourself a PSA, and it's the next best thing. And they're nitride coated. The DPMS didn't have like the coat, and the nitride is awesome, man, because nitride, it's like a bath, and it like gets down into your metal, where chrome plating is on top. Nitride lasts longer. The Rockwell hardness is better than chrome, and I was kind of skeptical right away until I looked into it. And your parts clean. Like if you get nitride coated bolt carriers and stuff, they clean off so much more easier. But I mean, if you're building it and you really hate cleaning, buy like a nickel boron coated something.
Absolutely. And they do. They have great pricing. Yeah. When we were looking at those flamethrowers, I mean, $349.99, $350 for, and everybody else is $650 to $700. And when I talked to David, he goes, I can't even reach that at my own dealer cost.
Yeah.
So, Palmetto State Armory, they've got some great deals. And, if you're looking to just get started, I think it's a great place to go and get started with.
Yeah. And I seen the guy on a podcast, and he flat out said, he said, I'm a millionaire from doing this, and I love the Second Amendment and guns. I'm doing this. He said, I'm paying my employees a good wage. I'm selling this stuff as low as I can because I want people to own these guns, because it's your right as an American to own these kind of guns. And now they're making pistols. And I mean, he's selling a great product for an affordable price, and people are making good wages at his company. He's living the dream. He's a millionaire selling guns. He's a gun company executive. Trump came in there, he made. Remember that? That's the guy who went in there and showing Trump.
Oh, yeah. I remember that. That was great. And then the media flipped out. You can't get a gun. Oh,
all right, so I'm going to go. Let's go up to the mid-range one. If you're going to buy a mid-range one here, I got the Stag 15 Tactical 16 nitride barrel FDE, and this thing comes with a trigger already installed. You get the nice 4.5 pound trigger. Something 4.5. Yeah, I mean, I like a 3 pound, but 4.5. Trust me, 4.5, you're going to still be able to shoot awesome. Oh yeah. And you get a nice stock on it and all that. That's going to come in at about $1,500. So I bet you, if you just outright buy it, but I bet if you built it, you're probably going to go $1,100.
Yeah.
Probably, and and like Clay said, it isn't that hard. Upper level. I know Clay doesn't like this company, but for whatever reason I do, and now they split their. My one of my ex favorite football players of all time is he's on a team with Christensen Arms. I knew he was a big right winger and he was a big hunter and hated the kneeling thing, but I mean he did it till he made $5 million a year. But Christensen Arms, you get one of them like $2,500 for the CA-15 with a carbon fiber wrap barrel and all that. I bet
Christensen arm thing goes back to the a long ways when they came out on the wrong side of some gun legislation.
Yeah, and maybe they're different now. I mean, everybody changes,
might be.
And they got Hannah Barron on board now. I know a lot of people who watch social media, but yeah, and you can buy that. That's $2,500 out the door somewhere. But I bet you could build that. You could probably save yourself $500-600 on that.
Oh yeah, I think you can save some money building. There's no doubt about it. I think there's a lot of great completes out there. If you don't know anything and you want to just have a good firearm, right now ARs are relatively affordable. I mean, as
big
far
time compared to bull rifles, they really actually
absolutely
are.
I mean, I think they're really easy to get into. There's a lot of the entry level to mid level AR-15s that there should be no issue with anybody getting into them. Really.
And the thing about it is, like I said, most of them will shoot real good, and if something breaks on them, you can fix them. You can buy a parts kit, and if you live to be 100 years old, you're gonna have parts for the dent. You can fix it. You don't have to rely on a gunsmith to fix it. You can do it all yourself. And if you get the tools to build an AR, they're relatively. I bet you can buy something to hold your upper and your lower. It's a one piece. I got one. I can't remember the name of the company right now, but and a nice wrench and stuff like that. You're probably going to be in $150. Wow, geez, you might as well buy one. And yeah, but if you build more ARs than your friends do, you already got the tools, and it just gives you an excuse for them to come over and drink some beers with you and have some fun and build a gun.
Exactly.
We got any more comments up here?
Oh, I guess I wasn't monitoring them.
I see we got Gene. He said there's a liberal summer right now saying ARs are the devil. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. A lot of people that think that they see that big evil black gun and that's just that's a military style. That's the new term, military style. Horrible gun. It's
weapon war.
Weapon of war. Assault weapon didn't really resonate anymore. So now it's weapon of war or military style. So
yeah, well, Joe turned it into pistols or weapons, which are they are actually
And finally, of all people, Biden made the AR-15 a weapon of war.
Yeah, see, there's a couple of things that Joe did, and which is going to be a good segue into what I'm going to hit on right now, Clayton, which is suppressors. And you're like, people are like, what the hell? That could possibly have been good with Biden. There were suppressors. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, they switched over, and I don't know if this was Biden or Dettelbach. I think it was probably the guy Biden fired before. He came in there and fired the black guy who actually liked guns as head of the ATF. Mm-hmm. Joe is actually a racist. If nobody knows that, he's a phony. And but they did instead of going with paperwork for buying a suppressor, which if anybody bought one, and a lot of our listeners do, and Clayton knows, that crap would take 10 months to a year and a half, right, Clayton?
Yep.
I think before I got this two here, I'm going to talk about shortly. Every one of them between 10 and 11 months wait time. So what would happen with these? Some people are asking me like, what happened? What's the short? So you would do your paperwork. Then they would you'd mail it in, or take it to and it would go to Virginia, to the FBI, or the guy who owned Silencer Shop was on listening. He said he literally went there and they were stacked in hallways in big boxes with dates on them. That's how they did this. And from there, they would ship them all the way out to Oregon. I don't remember the name of the government entity why they did that. And then from there, they would go through them, and then it would come back again. And then at which point, when they finally got to it, then the paperwork would finally clear and you would get your suppressor. And I mean, this would take, and I mean, she said it looked like an Indiana Jones movie. They were stacked in there so much, he said.
Well, one of the biggest issues was they had a department. I didn't realize this till we started looking into it. Within ATF, there's an NFA department.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
they're
for the National
short-staffed,
Firearms
of
Act,
course.
and they're short-staffed, and so you had 2 layers, and neither one of them were communicating great. They were doing first come, first serve, and that's what was happening. And they've changed all that. They finally they went electronic, which they should have done years ago.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, everything else has.
and we've been hearing stuff about it, and I've had firsthand accounts of people getting them back right away. And
Yeah.
you know, I stopped in Mandan Sporting Goods, and I was going to look at some suppressors over there. And before I even bought them, this Brandon said, "Hey, I want to get back on board with you guys." And I said, "Well, you're in luck. We want you on board anyways, but I'm over here to look at some suppressors."
All right.
And he took me back because before that, we sent Wayne Muth went over there. Wayne's a good friend of the show. He's been on the show. Will be on in the future.
Yeah.
Wayne went in there, got one, told me what he got. And Clay, I remember you actually brought it up, right? You had a question about it, and you brought up Silencer Co.
Yep.
And I got the Silencer Co. And then Brandon showed me another one. We started talking about 22 suppressors. He's like, man, everything's going, you know, a guy just got one back here in like, I don't know what he said, 27 hours. And I was like, that's impossible.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, and he busted out the 22 suppressor on me. I told him not to. He did, and he's like, "Hey, man, we're doing this anyways." And you know,
He knows how to upsell.
yeah. Long story short, I said to hell with it. We are doing it. I haven't bought anything really, and you know, a suppressor in years, and I did want. I have a couple of quality ones, and I have 2 other ones that are, you know, they're not known as top quality ones, but they work great. But I'm gonna leave a couple for my kids, you know. But yeah, so I got them. That was Friday. Did everything in the morning. Took my papers over to the Bismarck Police Department. Stopped in there Tuesday morning to get the new sponsor check from Mandan Sporting Goods. Brandon said, "Hey, you can take your 30 cal home." I'm like, "You got to be kidding me." He's like, "No, here's the email. You check your email." I said, "No, I haven't today." I said, "What about the 22? Nah, that one's not cleared." He goes, "Check it. Keep checking it the next few days." So there's a young guy in there talking to him. He got one from Linton. I don't remember his name. Of course, I was trying to push the show on him, but he was picking one up too. Brandon turns around and he goes, "Yeah, your 22 one just cleared too, man. You can take them both home." So Friday, I did everything, paid for them, paid the ATF their blood money. Tuesday, I was walking out of Mandan Sporting Goods with them in my hand.
Man, that's fast. That's fast.
Yeah, and everybody's wondering about the trust. So the young guy I was in there, I was talking to, he got a trust, and the trusts do take longer, but he got it this is back in November, and he got it. So that was he got it in 5 months with the trust, and everything's picking up speed now. So a trust, my buddy Brad, he went over there and bought 2 suppressors after he found out Brandon was on board. So Brandon, he's paid up for the next year, even with his even with his sponsorship fee, he's good to go. And so Brad's getting a trust done for his boy. And I'm going to see how long that takes, because the other guy was 5 months. Which is, you'd still have it before deer season. You get over to Mandan Sporting Goods right now and you buy one, you're going to get that sucker back with a trust before deer season. I mean, you might go there right now and come Monday, you're shooting it like I was. So,
because I have a trust right now. That's how that's what I did when I first bought my first suppressor. So, but I imagine you can still purchase them if I remember right. I think you can purchase.
Yeah, you can do it right through Brown and Clayton. And I will tell you this: people, he's your sponsor. No, I'll tell you what, Brandon. Not only does he have the electronic fingerprints, he's got the trust thing going with Silencer Co. They hired a bunch of attorneys.
Yes.
Brandon can explain that to you, because he got into the technicalities. He kind of lost me in the weeds of. But it's a lot easier to get people on your trust with this thing. You can do all that right in the store. All you got to do is go to wherever town you live in and give your papers to the police. And I mean,
yeah, when I did my trust, it was the old style. So the only thing they had to do was on me, and I could add whoever I wanted. That has changed. Now they have to do background checks on everybody. Mm-hmm. I was the only one, and I could put the people on the trust, which was great. I bought a lane suppressor at that time. For one, the guy down there in Rapid, he has them, and he does a great job. And he was supporting the banquet big time down in Rapid City. So, I'm going to go where the sponsors were. Back when I worked for NRA, I went to where my sponsors were in those towns. And yeah, I mean, we did the paperwork. He had a lawyer write up the stuff for him, just like Brandon Maddox did with his company. They had lawyers write these things up, so it was pretty easy. It was just sign the dotted line, read through it, and then sign.
So
and then wait.
So Brandon told me you don't even have to fingerprint no more. The way they got it, you can add it. If you're the what do you call it? Who owns the trust, Clay? What's the name of that?
The trustee.
Yeah, if you're him, you can add people. You don't have to go through all the rigmarole you did. Because I'm on the trust of one of my buddies when he first got a suppressor. Yeah, I had to go in and get fingerprinted and all that. Brandon can explain.
That's good.
Yeah. Brandon can explain all that to you over Mandan Sporting Goods. So.
Yep, good deal. It's been a long time since I bought one. So Corey, he chimes in. He says, "If you're a South Dakota resident, can you buy them out of state? No. It's an NFA item. You must purchase them in the state where you reside."
So Clayton, I'm pretty sure we can show suppressors on, right?
Well, I would hope so.
All right, so I'm just going to let some. So some people want to know what I got. So I didn't get the titanium, and I'll tell you, my friend did get. He got the titanium, and he got the same one I got here. And Wayne Muth got the same one here too. It's the Harvester. They don't actually make this anymore. They quit. I don't know why they discontinued it, but they got a different model out. This is a Harvester EVO, 6 inches long. The decibel rating is, I don't remember, on a 308. It's like 132 or something. It's got the back. It's got, and it comes with two different, the 5/8 and the 1/2 inch, 6 1/4 inches long. So the weight is what people are worried about, right, Clay? I mean, Scott and Jesse were kind of riding me about the weight. Just get a titanium. It's only $300 more, which they're about right. It was about $300, $350 more. 10.8 ounces is all this thing weighs. The titanium one was 7.5 or something.
All right.
The newer one.
And that's your 22? Is that the one you're talking about?
No. This is a 30 cal, and this thing's rated. Yeah, this is rated 223 out of 300 Win Mag.
There you go. Yep.
300 Win Mag, and this it's light. It's 10.8 ounces. It's a hybrid, right? It's like stainless steel and Inconel, like the blast baffle, and
okay.
But yeah, and like I said, rated all the way up to, and it goes down to 16-inch. This particular one, 16-inch barrel. He didn't want you going lower than that. I guess if somebody knows something I don't about barrel length, why you can't go down these shorter barrel lengths in some of these suppressors, because some of them don't have any barrel restrictions and lifetime warranty, by the way, even though it's discontinued. Most of these suppressor companies have lifetime warranties, right?
Yeah. I did go with the titanium when I bought one, but mine's.
Yeah, I don't blame anybody for it.
Mine's a big one, but
of course.
and it's black. But anyway,
Leon was on here. We can do this DEI stuff, man.
Yes, we could. We have Leon be chuckling right now.
He gave us the pass to do it, so
yeah. Anyway, but no, I bought that one. You had the choice. You could have stainless steel, regular steel, blue. Mm-hmm. I went with the titanium. Back then it wasn't. There was a difference, but it wasn't quite as big of a gap as it is now. And to answer Corey's question more direct, I believe, if I remember right, when I talked to David, and I think Brandon told me this too. Mm-hmm. If you buy a suppressor and you're out of state, it's just like the handgun. They'll have to send it down to an FFL with a class 3. You got to have the class 3 to do it in the state where you reside, but. Yeah, you're gonna have that stupid class 3
tri-trigger.
Tri-trigger.
Whatever. What was it called? Axel said. Anyway,
trinary.
Trinary. Yeah. You need the trinary license. Anyways, yeah. All right, I'll go. And it comes with some. Hey, I'm a decal freak. I got some nice decals. They're gonna go on my mule since we're talking about UTVs in a little bit. So, like I said, Brandon hooked me in with the 22, and because a 22. If you want movie quiet stuff. Shoot a 22. Even the supersonics are almost. So look at this thing, Clayton. This is the Texas Silencer Company out of Weatherford, Texas. The Scoundrel. Cool name, right? The Scoundrel.
I like that.
So you see this pen, right?
Yeah.
This is the Scoundrel right next to it. Look at this.
Wow, that's for your 22. There you go.
Yeah, the Scoundrel's like 5 inches, and it comes with. It's got this little deal right on the back because you do got a 22 suppressors get dirt. Center fire ones, you don't have to. And this is what Brandon hooked me with, how easy this was to clean. You screw that back off, and then it comes out with this baffle right here.
Out.
Right?
There you go.
And It's direct thread up to, it's machine gun rated, actually, if you got a 22 machine gun. Which, Axel, why don't you go ahead and invest in one of those? We can hook this baby on, or you can get yourself one. Lifetime warranty, Code of the West warranty. And let me see what kind of weight do we got on this thing here? Length 5.2, weight 5.4 ounces, 1 inch diameter. I mean, this thing's. We're taking my daughter out and my nephew and hopefully my buddy's son. They're all going to be deer hunting this fall. We're going out to Axe this Sunday to do some shooting. I'm hoping to test this one out. And I did download the decimal meter on my phone, one that's supposed to work, because everybody, those don't really worth a shit. Well, tell you what, we're going to try it. I know it's going to be quiet either way, right? So.
Oh, I love having I even put my big 30 caliber can and I run it on. You've seen it.
I was there shooting it, man. That thing was, that was awesome, man. You had that tactical.
And it isn't that hard to actually hit. You can't really see the sights, but trust me.
Well, you had that red dot. Yeah, 50 yards. I was freaking hammering that gong with that thing. It was. I'm like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. Yeah.
And I had that on that Ruger 2245. And so it's got like a 45 frame, but it's a 22. Yeah, I love that thing. It's a fun little gun.
So Dan's got
Dan's got a deal there.
Yeah, he said he'd been waiting since. Dan, did you do that in paper or did you do it electronically?
I remember when we talked about this the last time, I think on one of the other shows. Yeah, Dan had, I think, done it before they made the change. I think he did the paper, but he can correct us here. But he's been waiting since July. So he's just a few months short of a year now. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll hopefully get that process.
Okay, let's catch up on some of these comments, Clay, before we do our double ad here.
So Corey was asking, of course, South Dakota resident. And yes, you have to be a resident of the state where you reside. Now, I do believe, and I'm pretty sure this is what David told me, that if you want to buy a suppressor, say, from out of state, then you have to have that shipped to an FFL dealer that has the Class 3 who can actually handle the NFA paperwork for you. So it's just like a handgun, only that's not a Class 3, but you got to send it down to a state of your residency. Another stupid rule. Brian Warner, he says, do you trust beneficiaries? Or do the trust beneficiaries have to live within the states you reside in? I do not know. That'll be a question.
Well, I don't know either. Someone. We'll get Brandon on here one of these times, or you guys, or we will. And
I really don't know, Brian. I will find out.
Kevin's got the double. I think that was your comment there about your size of your suppressor, and
I believe so. Yeah.
There you go, Doug. He's got a harvester ASR mount, so it's quick attach. Yeah, this takes ASR mounts as well, Doug.
Does Axe, does that what he's got on that one or not? It seemed like he had one.
He does. Axe does have some silencer code, not all of them, but I'm not sure. Okay. Yeah, and Dan did say it's paper. So Dan, I would just go ahead and figure you're going to be waiting until July again, man.
Actually, Dan, just go buy another one. And then
you get Man Down Sporting will hook you up, man. You can get that thing back in 3 days, Dan.
There you go. Yeah, I mean,
he wouldn't even be back to Dickinson. They'll be calling him. Have to turn around and go get it.
Another one. I just get another one. I mean, I can't think of a better reason, right? Hey, I'm waiting for my paperwork to clear, so I had to buy this one.
Love it. I love it. All right. So do we got Clay? Do we have the triple add on here even? What do we got here? Because we do. I see the double, but I don't see the.
Well, I thought I uploaded it.
Oh yeah, triple add. All right. I'll hit it. I'll tell you, we're gonna do a triple add and come back. And Clay's in the market for a UTV. Unless you guys got any, if you guys got any more comments or something about suppressors, I mean we could talk about this for a long time. We're 45 minutes in, and. But if you do, put them in the comments. We're going to do our triple ad for our freaking awesome sponsors here, and then we'll be back to hit on some UTV stuff.
Lauer Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake.
Make no mistake.
Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Discover the world of firearms at Bismarck's Double H Gun Shop. With a wide range of products from handguns to rifles, we cater to all your shooting needs. We are your local gun experts. Not only do we sell firearms, reloading supplies, targets, and whatever your heart desires, but we also have a ton of knowledge and answers.
We shoot, we hunt, we compete, we reload.
It's been the Howard's way since 1976, and we ain't fixing to change anything. Visit our website at hahgunshop.com to browse our inventory. Double H Gun Shop, Bismarck's best new and used firearm reloading supply, gunsmithing, and sporting goods store. Double H Guns.
Double H Guns.
1021 South Washington Street, Bismarck, North Dakota. Call 701-223-4888.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Oh, we're getting fancy.
That's good. I like that. That's good work there by Mikey D. Yeah.
Getting fancy.
Hey, yeah. Hey, guys, again, all our sponsors, you guys do business with them. Please tell them you heard it on Guns in the 701 or 701 Nation or on Mitchell in the Morning or any other special episodes we're going to do because, hey, they love hearing that our message is getting out. Matter of fact, Clay, right? Brandon, I told you, Brandon told me Guns in the 701 was one of his most effective ways ever of getting his message out. So, and that's because you guys went in there and told Brandon that you heard it here and you're doing business with him. So not only does he appreciate it, we appreciate it.
Yes, we do, and that's how it works, guys. I'm happy we got some gun dealers, gun shops on board along with Axe because I'm telling you, it doesn't get done without our sponsors, and it's great to have great American patriots that are supporting us.
Yeah,
we support them. So I highly recommend you go to all of them. And we're working on another one. We got some of them. Yeah, actually, we're working on two. So
Clay and I got a meeting tomorrow night, an online meeting. We're going to talk to a gun builder about something, and then Clay's got a guy in South Dakota of a gun shop,
another
gun
dealer. Yeah. So well, we'll announce things as
we'll get to the end of the show. All right, Clay. So no international harvester for me, said Doug.
Yeah. And then he says, does the paperwork come back that quickly for a suppressed firearm? I don't know.
Integrally. Yeah.
I don't know if it does, Doug. I really don't. I remember when we were digging into this with the ATF, it was pretty much on suppressors themselves, but I would have to think that the same checks and balances, but I really couldn't tell you. I don't know. That'd be a good one. Honestly, I hate to admit this, but wouldn't it be fun to get the ATF agent out of Fargo on here and just?
I'd love to. I mean, not everybody in ATF's an a-hole. No. I've talked to some guys there a couple times on the phone about some things, and the guys I talked to were nice, and they did admit to me that hey, if you run into the wrong guy, I mean they'll nail you. But
absolutely. And the new, I don't know what the new guy is like. The guy that retired out of there, I kind of knew him when I was working with the NRA, and he seemed like a decent guy. He really did. So. Might be something to think about. Maybe we need to have him on and we can ask him questions.
Yeah.
Because he should know. I mean, they really should. Eric's got in here. He says, I thought that the weight was just for the extortion government fee of a couple hundred. And after that, you can go get the suppressor. But it's a weight on the suppressors, too. Well, it was all kind of combined, Eric.
Yeah. The paperwork, like I said earlier, if you missed it, Eric, the whole paperwork fiasco is from one coast to the freaking other and then back again. And they weren't in any hurry to do it. The guy from Silencer Shop said they weren't in any hurry to do it. And they were understaffed because, we got to pay for people coming here illegally. But
no kidding.
Did I say that?
So the $200, I mean, the $200 is $200. It's the background check they're doing on you. And they drug their feet. I think they did it on purpose myself. But
I mean, the $200 still makes me grind my teeth, Clayton. That pisses me off.
Pisses me off.
So think of it this way, Clay. I just bought 2 of them, and I had to pay an extra $400. I could have bought another freaking damn. I could have bought another 223 or another 17 and 20. Yeah, easy, or a pistol suppressor. But
absolutely.
Instead, I'm out $400 for nothing. All right, I'm not going to get pissed off about that. All right, Clayton.
and we've covered the history on the NFA and how this all come about on the show before. But let's just in a nutshell. 1934, $200 was a lot of money, and they wanted to prevent people from having them, and that's where we're at.
So let's hope DJT wins. We get the House, we get the Senate, and then let's start putting foot to ass on getting a lot of our rights restored and how stuff should be. So,
and we had a chance. Remember that?
We did.
We had the Hearing Protection Act, and Paul Ryan, the Republican Speaker of the House, held it up because he hated Trump. I'm not kidding. That's what happened. That's why it never came through. Trump said, "Get it to my desk, and I will sign it."
And the Kentucky Mud Turtle, Mitch McConnell said, Don't even bring it here anyways. We're not bringing it up.
So we owned the House and the Senate the first 2 years, and they did nothing with that. So blame the Republicans on that one.
Well, the swamp creatures. I mean,
creatures, the rhinos.
I mean, some Republicans. You can blame every Democrat, but some of the Republicans were definitely responsible for it. So,
but anyway, that's
All right, Clayton. So Clay's looking at a new UTV, right? Clay, are you looking at 2? What are you looking at? A side by side and a 4-wheeler?
Yes. I'm looking at both. Right now, I'm looking at a Kawasaki Mule, of course.
Oh boy, there you go.
And we've got a Gator. Actually, I'm looking. I'm dealing.
Tingle just went down my leg when you said that Kawasaki Mule.
All the way down, just like But I do like the mules. I looked at them. I've looked at them before. Heck, I remember telling you about them, and you're like, "Yeah," and you ended up getting one.
Yeah, awesome, man.
They were one of the first in the industry to build something like that, and they're rugged. They last. I can't say enough about them. Now, I've looked at some other ones. I've looked at the Yamahas. They're okay. I'll never buy a Polaris Ranger. They can run them off the cliff as far as I'm concerned. They're way overpriced, and they're not built as good. The first ones were pretty good, but Polaris has went downhill. I used to just run Polaris 4-wheelers, and I don't run them anymore either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the Kawasaki Mule, and I can't decide. I like that sliding one that has the 3-seater in the front and the back, but yet you can lay it down and it becomes a bigger box.
Mm-hmm.
I still am not convinced looking at it that it's not going to be problematic when it gets full of dirt and grime and crap. I don't know, but I mean, it's got a moving part that's manual. So I don't know. They keep telling me, but salesmen aren't going to tell you that anyway.
Yeah.
I'd really like to look. I'd like to talk to someone who has one of those and see what they say about it.
I will say, one of the things I noticed about my mule, and no, Jeremy from Full Throttle doesn't sponsor us, but I mean, Jeremy, you're more than welcome to, buddy, because your mule's been featured in a lot of hundreds of thousands of views. But the stuff Kawasaki does make is quite functional. I mean, and they do make, because a lot of people they don't make like a new, like the fancy Ranger with the Kawasaki's new cabs are out. Man, those things are sweet. But the new mule, Clay, they pretty much the few complaints I had about the mule is kind of what they fixed. And the number one complaint a lot of people was the horsepower. The old mule, like mine, I got a 2020. They were 800s. 47 horsepower, and trust me, the thing will go 50 miles an hour. It won't get there in a blink of an eye like a Ranger will or something. But I got the long box. I can put freaking fence posts in there. They don't hang over the side.
Nope.
And you put it in low. It's got a ton of power. It's quiet. It's wider for people to sit in there. And they did change the oil, and they gave it a little more clearance too, like an inch or two clearance, and the shocks got more travel, which was never really a complaint of mine. Our farm and ranch has tons of rocks. I hit a big rock once, but I mean, I don't give a damn what you could add a razor or whatever, and you would have bottomed out on this son of a bitch. But
what I don't understand is the guys that complain about the speed or the power in a machine like that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to take my side by sides. I don't now. I have an Arctic Cat Prowler, and we have a Gator here. I don't use them now to go chasing and cutting cattle. They're pointless. You can't turn them fast enough. I don't care how fast they are. they're too big of in bulky. I
The
can do
big
that better.
machine, yeah, it's not a.
Yeah.
It's not,
I can do it better with a 4-wheeler. If you're not using a horse, which I don't, I use a 4-wheeler or a motorcycle. That's what you're going to use.
but they did change the mules now, Clay. Like I said, mine had like 48 horse. It was a 3-cylinder.
Mhm.
The new one's got a 2-cylinder, and I think they got like 81 horse or something. So it's a 1,000 now. Like I said, it looks basically the outside looks the same. They put some different headlights in. And
I do like the new LED lights that they're putting in these
Yeah.
machines.
Yeah.
I do not like how electronic they're getting. Even my 2019 Yamahas, we bought 2 of those in 19, a Kodiak and a Grizzly, and I don't like the digital display because mine sit inside a lot, and that's already
mine's in the shop when I'm
causing
not
me
using
problems.
it, man. And they did change, like the old mules had like the speedometer was in the middle and not the gauge. They moved it in front.
Where it
Some
belongs.
people bitch. I guess it never. Yeah, I could have. It didn't bother me that
So-
much, but it was real easy to see for me. And
I did stop by Dvorak Motorsports while we were in Bismarck the other day just to check out the CF motos. Well, Eric just mentioned it. He says his dad's is a CF moto, and it is.
Yep. Guy I work with just bought one too. So
They're half the price, almost. And you know what? After looking at it and really looking them over, both the 4-wheeler and a side-by-side, they look like they're a pretty well-built machine. And I know in Dell's down there at the lake, I drove that a little bit. Seemed like a nice, steady. I mean, it had plenty of power, rode good.
so how much was it then?
The one that I was looking at up there that I would buy would be around 15 to 18,000.
Okay.
And in comparison to the same kind of machine in a mule was 28.
Really? Because I'm looking right now. I'm looking at 2024 Mule Pro FX 1000 HD edition 16.9. They just lowered the MSRP.
Right. Well, but I was looking at that Kawasaki, that one that has the interchangeable.
Oh yeah, you were looking like the Ranch edition there.
Which CF Moto does not have the one where it changes seats like that. Vance Honda makes a great 4-wheeler too. My 2 top 4-wheelers are Honda and Yamaha as far as choices, and I think I've owned them all.
Yeah.
But as far as a UTV,
Either Clay cut out or I did. Clay did. There he is. You back there, Clayton? I see you. Hold on. Let me.
I come back.
There you go. You're back. You're back.
I told you we've been having internet problems tonight. Here. But I will tell you though, Kawasaki's at the top of my list. I see that. Let's see. Doug Thompson mentioned, he goes, our Yamaha Viking. I have driven one of them. Seemed like a nice vehicle.
Those are nice. Yeah, I know guys that have Yamahas. They really don't have any complaints about them.
No, they don't. And Yamaha makes some good stuff. I can't really complain about my Yamaha machines at all.
To be fair to Polaris, I did like my Polaris. It was the service of a particular Polaris dealer that pissed me off. And so my dad bought one. Same month I bought mine. My dad has he might actually have 14,000 miles on it with the cab and air and all that. He's had very little problems with it in 14,000 miles. I mean, he did have a few complaints about the service too as well, but his still runs pretty good. Every once in a while he has a few minor things with it, but I mean, with that many miles, and I'm not going to get another one. They soured me on it. They could have me for life. I'm definitely a Kawasaki guy for life.
I'm a pretty loyal guy if I get treated well, by anybody as far as what I'm buying. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you right now, I thought, well, I've had really good luck down at Black Hills Motorsports down in Rapid City, but they don't have what I want right now, and they can't get it. So I started looking around, and Spearfish has a dealer as well. So far, I've gotten some pretty good numbers from them. So I've thought, you know what, I'm going to check out Valley Sport up there in Bismarck. And they were $600 to $700 higher on ATVs. We're talking 4-wheelers now. Mm-hmm. And I told the guy,
everything's out higher in Bismarck, man.
Yeah, and I just told him, I said, you know what? I said, I'm 225 miles from Rapid, or I'm 100 miles from Bismarck. I said, get in the ballpark. I mean, you don't have to match it. But I go, right now for the $600-700, it's worth me driving down to Rapid to buy 2 4-wheeler. Well, he didn't know this, to buy a 4-wheeler. I didn't tell him I was going to buy 2. And he basically told me, he says, well, then you better go to Rapid. I was like, what? Wow. I had some choice words for him. I'll probably never step foot in there again. You know what? Really, you're that arrogant and you're a salesman. You can just cram it. I will drive to Rapid City now, and I'm going to buy
Yeah.
2 of them, and I'm going to save a lot of money, and it's worth the trip. It's just I could not believe
Yeah.
that kind of arrogance and stupidity as a salesman. I guess sales must be really easy there. I don't know.
They are, man. That's why vehicles and everything are more expensive in Bismarck. I know so many people that go out of Bismarck to buy stuff. It's but I mean, like you said, Clay, they must be getting it because they don't want to budge on anything.
No, and they
Basically,
did
like
have
you
the
said,
one.
tell you to go cram it and go buy it there. Then if you don't like it,
They had the Grizzly I wanted. So I don't care if I have the Kodiak or the Grizzly. But Danelle really likes the Grizzly. She likes that bigger. It's the same motor. She likes that bigger machine, and I guess the fenders are a little wider and it don't get as muddy. But so it does ride a little nicer, possibly. But I'm good with either of them. I can tell you, I like that little Kodiak, and it seems like it's more rugged. So that's the one I drive mostly.
I will say I did get a pretty damn fair trade in when I went to Full Throttle though, from Jeremy.
Them guys, I've done some business there on little 4-wheelers, and they've been very, very good to me on those little ones for the boys. But I'm not a Kawasaki fan on ATVs. But the mule, I like the mule. So
yeah,
when we get more serious,
parts made in Japan, assembled in Nebraska. I mean, none of them are made here. I thought my Polaris was made here. Now when I got it, it was made in freaking Mexico. The cartel made it.
Yeah. Doug says Rice Honda carries the CF. I knew that, Doug. And they also have the Yamaha dealer over in Spearfish, and that's why I ended up looking at Rice Motorsports.
Before we get into these comments, Clay, because I see they're piling up, I got a text here from a buddy of mine, and he wants to know if anybody, if you got it, please put it in the comments. If anybody has any feedback on the Henry Homesteader, he's definitely eyeballing one here. He wants to get one. And he's just looking for a little feedback on it because I told him I have never shot one. Everything I've ever read about them, they're great. So if anybody's got any feedback on the Henry Homesteader, go ahead and throw it up in the comments for us. All right, Clayton, let's hit some of these. Dan Brown, I think Dan Brown's back. Why don't you get that one?
Yeah, and hey, Axe, I got your text. I turned up my mic. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up or let me know in a text whether it worked. Evidently it was a little hard to hear.
Well, I liked it when I was louder than Clay. It was. Now you turned. I did notice that. Good. That's good caller.
So Dan's got a good announcement here. He says, "Hey, Bizman Rifle and Pistol Club is holding an action pistol match on Saturday at 10 o'clock at the indoor range. I'm planning on going. Grab your pistol, 3 or 4 mags, and come out and exercise your 2A rights." Absolutely, Dan. So
all right, Dan, I might actually swing down there and see you, buddy. If I don't shoot, at least I can I'll cheer you on a little bit and see who's all down there.
Yeah, I already have plans on Saturday, or I might have driven up there. I am calving pretty hard, but if I was able to slip up there for a few hours, I might have done it. But I already have plans in Lemon with my parents, so cannot make that day. But yeah, go out there, guys. Bizman Rifle and Pistol Club, and they have a really nice indoor range. So
yeah, they do.
Pop in there Saturday, 10 o'clock Central Time at their indoor range. Eric Newman says, "Yep, my dad likes this CF Moto," and that's I gotta say, I looked at what they had. And I'm really impressed with those 4-wheelers. And you can get into a really nice, it's the 500, which I don't need these big, huge 4-wheelers.
Yeah, it's just harder to handle when you're ripping around chasing cows.
And I mean, I've sat on that baby and looked at it and went around it. $7,800, and that's pretty much out the door for a brand new machine. I can't find a lot wrong, for that price.
Yeah.
Look at the other ones.
I mean, from all reports I've ever heard on them too, they're fairly reliable and they last long.
Yeah.
So
they sure seem like it. Waylon Turner says my brother's Honda 4-wheeler is great, and he also has the Kubota diesel side by side. That's a very nice machine, not a speed machine, 35 mile an hour max, and that's true. I've been actually in those Kubotas. The
newer ones go faster. They did change that, I think, on the newer ones.
They had those diesel Kubotas, and they were a nice machine. They had the full cabs, and I just anymore at the price of diesel, I don't think it's very. Look at the economical aspect of it. a payoff anymore.
Brian says, Jamie, is that an old Stein you're sipping on? That's right, Brian. This is the Stanley Stein, and Scott and Jesse gave me a little crap. Oh, you jumped on the yuppie. I bought this Stein when Kmart went out of business many. So I was actually setting the trend here. This is a 24-ounce Stein. They still make these. If anybody wants a Stein, these things are freaking great.
Awesome.
I mean, hey, everybody's like, "Where's Stanley?" And he's trying to get. No, I'm not. This is an awesome freaking beer stein, man. I love this thing, the Stanley Stein.
Brian, he also said, "Don't come to Dickinson. Plan on save money." Boy, you're right there, Brian. I've tried the deal up there before. I put it this way: I bought a lot of ATVs. I've bought a lot of machines and traded. And I've never bought one there. I don't know why but I guess maybe it's the oil money up there. But they must get the money because they don't deal, and they don't want to give you crap for your trade. And even if it's in good shape, I mean, mine get used, but they're mechanically good and they still look pretty good. I've seen some people beat the crap out of them, but they don't want to give you nothing for them. That's for sure. Eric, he says, get one with floats for it for the Fort Peck ice fishing trip. I'll have to tell you that story someday. We had the Arctic Cat Prowler up there, but yeah, I thought we were going down that day, but we're here. So Doug says, I can buy a few old Ford pickups for the price of one of them Polaris Rangers. Yeah, you can.
That is true. I mean, they're not as fun, but that is true. It is cheaper.
It is. Ford Ranger, Mazda parts, probably, who knows?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm in the market. We'll see what happens here. I can tell you this. I now have a crack in my Grizzly because a cow decided to put her foot through it here. So now that's going to hurt it a little bit. So I don't know. I was looking at trading. The numbers ain't too bad down there in the hills. I can't decide whether I want to run them another year or not. Or maybe I should trade one and stop doing it. Two of them every 3-4 years. Maybe that's the deal. Just trade one every so often.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, Clay. I know you know what you and my feeling is on the side by sides. Anything other than that, four wheelers. I'm not an expert by any means, and I've drove the Polaris. The best one I ever driven, and granted, there were two of them, and they were newer ones. But I did fully enjoy driving the Yamaha Grizzly.
Yeah, I do. Out of all the four wheelers, like I said, I used to run Polaris's prime. I mean, specifically, I started buying Polaris's back in 96, 97. Mm-hmm. And I had one of them little 2-stroke 400s that had the chain drive. I love that machine, and you couldn't kill it until I let my father-in-law and a buddy of mine take it out to go elk hunting in the mountains out there in the Bighorns in Wyoming. They didn't. You're supposed to put a different orifice in there. Yeah, they didn't do that, and they burned up my cylinder. So,
yeah, man. All right, Clay. So we're not running too long. I'll tell you what. Let's hold off on that last ad here, shall we? Let's get to the celebrity shit stain of the week.
There you go.
And when I do these guys, they're usually anti-gun, and this guy didn't specifically come out and say he was, but Clay and I will tie it in to basically prove that this guy he's anti-gun. Okay, so the guy I'm talking about here, Alan Richson, right, Clayton? I told you at the beginning of the show, me and Clay were disappointed to find this out. Reacher, big muscled up guy, acts like a big conservative, takes the law into his own hands and does what right, makes you feel good, beats the hell out of losers, and gets rid of freaking corrupt bastards in the government, right?
Yep.
It's
a great show, and it follows the books pretty good.
Right. The second season was the first season, in my opinion, was a lot better. The second season got a little kind of carried away with what he did. Well, it's kind of like as farther that Walking Dead went on. I quit watching it because they got out of hand with Yellowstone as well.
They gave the background to how he came about more so than what in that first season. But I was enjoying it till you told me that.
Yeah. So if you didn't hear about here, I'm going to tell you why Clay and I are now disappointed and will no longer support Mr. Alan Richson, aka Reacher, on Amazon. So Alan Richson, the star of Amazon's hit show Reacher, claims to be, quote, very disturbed that police officers can get away with murdering people, quote, all the time and never held accountable for it. So before I go, remind me what happened to Darren Chauvin.
Yeah, let's go down that road, huh?
Which I'm not gonna. Yeah, we won't. But I'll say I'm not really on board with saying he murdered that loser. But
No, but
yeah. And if you're a leftist and you heard that, KMA. You think,
go ahead and melt. Just walk over
Yeah.
there in the corner and melt.
Anyway, so the 41-year-old actor cast his accusations about lawless police officers in his interview with Hollywood Reporter last week, in which he made a series of admissions of his extreme leftist views. I added the leftist part in there, Clay, because his views are leftist.
We're leftist.
The tough guy actor, which he is an actor. I mean, he's a huge dude. I mean, if he got a hold of me, he'd probably kill me, but who knows? He might be able, because if you go on later in the story here, you'll see he might be a head case. And
he's a big guy. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he's a monster. He's a monster. He revealed his anti-cop sentiment in the past, of course. He raised eyebrows in August of 2020, which I never heard. I never even heard Alan Ricks until he was in Reacher. But by wearing a T-shirt calling for the arrest of Kentucky police officers who shot Breonna Taylor in March of that year. Richmond spoke about the Taylor shooting to the reporter, calling it a tragic case, but went on to attack all police officers everywhere, saying, cops get away with murder all the time. And the fact that we can't really hold them accountable for their improprieties is disturbing to me. First of all, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, the cops went in there and he started blasting at the door. What the hell were they supposed to do? Get shot? Well, yeah. And she got caught in the crossfire. It was nothing. But these people like him make it sound like it was a hit job on her because she was black, right? Which is complete bullshit.
Of course. It has to be it, right?
Yeah. We should completely reform the way they do it when he's talking about how you become a cop. He says, I mean, you should have to spend more time getting education as a hairstylist than as cops who are armed with a deadly weapon, right? Deadly weapon. Here we go, Clay. We're getting into his little leftist, right?
Deadly weapon of war.
We should make it very hard for people to make mistakes or abuse power in institutions. They freaking do, dude. Why don't you go spend a day with a cop and see what the hell they do? And I'm not saying all cops are these great people, but most cops are freaking good dudes. And they got a shitty job now thanks to freaking leftists. And when the leftists, if they ever get their way and flip it to where we have leftist cops, trust me, it's going to be a hell of a lot worse. Go to any big city. Yeah. Right? So, but that wasn't all he was going on about, Clayton. No. Yeah, go for it, my friend. Go for it.
Is there reforms that are needed? Yes. But not what this guy is thinking about, not what the left is thinking about. There are things that can change because we do have that two-sided coin there, as with anything. But for the most part, yeah, what they're talking about, no. Cops don't go around murdering people. That's not their intent. I don't think if it is, we got bigger problems.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that's never happened, which it obviously has. But, I mean, come on. Most of the time, they don't go around murdering people. I mean, I wish they'd do it to some people.
Like Keith says, unless they're the ATF. But
they'll get your dog too, man.
Yeah.
So, like Keith was in the military. Keith, a lot of police officers, a lot of them that I've ever met were MPs in the military and come out, actually. Right? And they got to go to a freaking academy. There's a police academy here in Bismarck. I think there's one up at, what's the college up by Devil's Lake up there? That's a big police. Anyway. Yeah, because he said, "Oh shit, you're a hairstylist. Got a lot more work to do than police." So, anyway, he goes on. He made a number of extreme statements. Of course, he called. Here we go. Right here. This one really gets me too. He called former President Trump a rapist and hinted that one cannot be a Christian and a Trump voter.
Oh, really?
And said the Catholic Church is a haven for pedophiles. And I'm not saying there haven't been pedophiles in there, but calling it a haven, I don't know. I'm not that much into the Catholic Church, but okay. And he also said, Clay, this one here, this is completely hypocritical. Christians today have become the most vitriolic tribe. It is so antithetical to what Jesus was calling us to be and to do. Dude, I guarantee you voted for frickin' Joe Biden. That guy claims to be a big Catholic, loves life, 100% pro-abortion. As far as vitriol, the Democrats throw out more vitriol and hate and anger
Well, guys like this, he's he's going on and attacking Christians.
We tried to kill himself once too, Clay. He tried to hang himself
Oh.
because he's bipolar and he couldn't control his. Which
So
whatever people got depression issues, but don't go out and call other people troubled and they can't think for themselves when you got problems yourself. Dude.
A guy like him, I'm sure he cherry picks parts of the Bible. You can't cherry pick it. You better read it all and you better understand it. And you better know the difference and what happens between Old Testament and New Testament that brings us to where we're at. Because I don't know how many people, well, Jesus would have done this and Jesus loved this person. I said, yeah, well, Jesus also hung on the cross with prisoners and murderers, and the sin's all the same. Got to remember that. Doesn't matter what it is. But I'm not going to go down an ideology trail tonight.
Yeah, let me get you on this trail. Oh, go ahead, Clay.
But I'm just going to say that a guy like him or anyone on the left, and we saw a lot of that here just recently over Easter, when the freaking left wingers went completely down that road and tried to cherry pick the Christian views that they don't believe themselves and make us look like the bad guy. So there, go ahead.
Yeah. So Clay, everybody who's seen Reacher, right? He uses guns. Reacher uses
a lot of guns,
lots of guns, ARs, pistols, and he's just sniping them out
with no remorse.
Right. And he beats the hell out of immoral people and crooked guys and government officials who've turned their positions of power into political gain or just smash people who are no. Reacher does all that with guns, and yet Reacher supports a guy as president who's one of the big government crook money. You can say anything you want about Trump. I mean, Biden does this crap, right? Remember what he said when he's over in Ukraine? Hey, here's the phone. Call Barack. Well, son of a bitch, what do you know? He fired the guy. He got a guy fired for money. Trump never did crap like that as president.
No.
But Biden's trying to ban guns all the time, and there's Reacher doing everything for good and right and great in America. And Biden's trying to ban every gun Reacher used on that show. Biden wants banned.
Oh, every single one of them, and they used them proficiently and often. Yeah, exactly. Jesus would have sold his coat and bought an AR, JD. JD.
Well, yeah. And I think we might have something like that, don't we, Clay, here on our...
I think we do. Right about there. How about that?
There you go, right there.
Now, before everybody flips out, yes, he's got Luke 22:36 in that. If you know the verse, you'll know that this is just a play on it. There was some fun being taken advantage of.
Right. That's why there's an Old Testament and New Testament. I'm just putting it to modern times.
And you buy it. Yes. Yeah.
He said buy a sword. We said buy an AR. So anyways, that's why good old Alan Ritson of Reacher is 701 Nation's shit stain of the week. Rightly so. I think he earned every bit of that, didn't he, Clay?
He earned every
give the Todd Mitchell slow clap there. Now. Yes.
Well, let's go through some of the comments because I think
there's
some people up there. So Keith, he put in there. He said, he goes, the only police that can actually murder people and get away with is ATF, and there is some truth to that. We won't go down that tonight because we're going to run out of time anyway. But we will address that at some point too. Brian points out that Biden's a Catholic, so there is that, and Biden is a Catholic.
Yeah.
He's loves to kill babies. Doesn't have any problem with that, and that's just one issue. Eric says that Biden is the pedophile sniffing kids and stroking their hair. I mean, yeah, there you go.
I mean, the guy's sick. It's obvious he is.
And we'll get this right. He said food rage, but what he's talking about, he says, roid rage is all about what that sounds like to me.
He claims I just ate food and started lifting weights, and because he was like a 6'4", 215 pounds, and now he looks like freaking Hulk Hogan. Yeah, but dude, come on, you're freaking pumping roids and HGH into your body.
I have no doubt. Dan is a retired police officer, guys.
This is a great comment.
And we have a lot of respect for Dan. The police academy in Bismarck is 13 weeks. Highway patrol recruits go through several weeks longer. Law enforcement classes at Lake Region and Devil Lake is one semester. So there you go.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I can tell you right now, and everyone knows my position with some of the things that happen, especially speeding, stuff like that. But I'm telling you right now, that police officers have a lot of on-the-job training. You're going to get so much in a classroom, and then you have to go and apply it. It's like any other job, probably. You're applying what you learned, and you look to your mentors. You look to the guys like Dan Brown or someone in the department that's been there, and that's your mentor, and they're going to teach you the right ways of what you can and can't do. And if you listen, you're going to be a good officer.
And Rich or Mr. Reacher Rich in there was talking about Biden. Guess what? You get DEI in the police force and the FBI and all this stuff. You're not going to get people qualified. And there's good guys who would go in there who we need, who are willing to put foot to ass for America and to keep law and order, that won't do it because of wokeness and DEI and all this other crap.
You're seeing it right now. Recruitment
unqualified
levels are
people
at their lowest. Yep. So recruitment, and just as a whole, recruitment's down. Military, police officers, and it's all because of the policies that we've seen set forth. The whole Black Lives Matter crap, when they want to defund police completely and basically not let them do their job. Or the military, we got to have DEI and wokeness in the military. No. Military is there to kick ass, protect the borders, protect us from all enemies, foreign and domestic. They are our line of defense in the world. But no, we're going to try and destroy that under the Biden regime.
How much DEI you think is going on in Ukraine when the Ruskies and the Ukrainians start cutting each other up? Yeah, I mean, that's some or any war gets down to that. Anyway, Clayton. All right, tell you what. No, I can't believe nobody's got any comments on that Homesteader for my texting buddy here, man. I told him buy that sucker because since the day I saw that is a freaking sweet 16-inch threaded barrel, nice wood stock on there. That's what what the founders intended is wood stocks. And
that's right.
I was waiting for you to catch that, Clay. You're yawning those.
That was their intent. Only a wood stock, blued barrel. Yeah. All
right, so
probably busket. Yeah.
Let's do our. I'm gonna do our last single ad here from our very first, and the guy, the company was. I was down there today talking with the boys. Good dudes down there. It's so let's hit it, and then we're gonna come back, Clay, and we're gonna do a little PR. What we got coming up here in the very near future, starting tomorrow morning with you and Deke on Mitchell in the mornings. All right, we'll be right back here.
Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at Lauer Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with Lauer, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. Lauer Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at Lauer Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's Lauer Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
I love technology sometimes, Jamie. I just checked all the cows.
Me too.
I checked the cows right after we started there. The advertiser got them all checked. We're good to go.
Awesome, man. Love it. Hey, Nicole. Nicole's listening. Hey, Nicole and Mark, thanks for listening. Love it. Okay. They're down. We got California there. Remember, we had them out at Axis shooting the 50 and the 9. And right. You guys need to get your butts back up here again this summer. We got some more great Second Amendment.
I don't know. I was going to put her comment up here, but it would not let me show that comment.
I see it.
Comes up. Yeah. I mean, like I do the rest of them. Now this one I can, but I can't do it the other.
Yeah, it's an animation. She's got like the party and she's loving it. Like, love it. It's a great comment, Nicole. I like that, Nicole.
Right.
And Nicole is she shot everything from a 17 to a 50 cal, Clayton, and her favorite thing to shoot. And Mark, the 50 cal. They loved it.
Oh yeah. We had a lot of comments on her videos.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, she loves it. Yeah, right there. Yep. So come on up. We got.
Yep.
Anyway, Clay. So starting tomorrow
morning, and at the new old time, at least till the darn twins.
Yeah.
By the way, 8:40 Central, 7:40 Mountain. We're on with Mitchell in the morning right there in KFYR 550 AM. We start off, I always like to say we kick off the Freedom Friday because we do with
Absolutely.
our show. And Deacons will be joining me from Mitchell, South Dakota. I always thought that was funny. He's in Mitchell. It's Mitchell in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we're going to pick up one of the stories from Colorado. It has to do with a semi-automatic ban that they're going to try and implement. I didn't check it today to see if it got through. It's going to be problematic. We did not get to it last night, so we're just going to bring that back, and that's going to be one of the subjects. I know that Mike's got a couple of them, so that'll be one of the things we're talking about. And we got a lot of things to do in a 20-minute deal. Plus, we have to take one quick break in there, so it's about a 16-minute deal.
You guys going to do that happy ending again? Because man, that was awesome when you guys did that on Todd's show. I actually think the happy ending's better on there because there's a lot of people who don't listen to the live stream podcast.
Right. I
think Todd loves the hell out of that too.
And I'm planning to do one tomorrow. So I didn't do one last night.
Awesome.
Because of that.
The one you had last week was great, man. 85-year-old grandma dusted some scumbag, and I know freaking log chained her to the wall and tried to take her shit.
She grabbed her 357.
Yeah, a shootout, man. A shootout in the kitchen, and she ended up winning the shootout, and she recovered from her injuries at 85.
I love how he made his way to the kitchen or living room and then died from his
Love it, man.
I love it. We definitely going to mention what you got coming up. So why don't you tell us what you arranged for Saturday?
Yeah. So first of all, I was doing once a month. We were doing drinks with the 701. We did it twice. Summer's coming. Clay and I kind of talked about it, and we're actually gonna end it because everybody's on Fridays. Everybody's getting ready to go camping, doing their thing. Summer's coming, people. So I'm doing a burp here. Excuse me. We're doing. We're gonna hold off. We're not getting rid of it. But drinks to 701 going on hiatus. We're sending it to Florida, to DeSantisville for the summer to party and hang out, and then come on back this fall, probably October, November when everybody's back inside.
We might try one in the summer, just one.
All right, we'll do it. All right, we'll do it.
We talked about that. Maybe try it. Maybe do it even from the cabin down there. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll figure something out. Or we can do it live from the party boat, the pontoon.
We can do that. We can definitely do that. Hey, Mark's in there. Hey, Mark, love you guys. Love you too, Mark, man. Love shooting with you and Nicole when you guys are up. Had a great time by the... Yeah.
Jamie said he's gonna.
All right, so tomorrow night, nobody's gonna. Summer is the good drinking time. Absolutely, it is, Mark.
Well, yeah, tell us what you got going on.
Yeah. So tomorrow night, Clay and I were kind of hinted at something. We got a meeting tomorrow night with a guy.
Yep.
Possibly gonna have a custom gun build or two for us here. We're gonna talk it over tomorrow. We'll see what we can figure out, and then Saturday night, North Dakota endorsed candidate for the U.S. House of Representatives, Alex Balaz, coming on 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain. Clay and I are going to have him on talking. It's going to be heavy Second Amendment. So, I mean, if somebody wants to talk about the border or his involvement when he was in the military or any,
right,
we might get into that. But our main deal with Alex is we want to talk Second Amendment rights, gun control, because he's been on a number of things. He's been on AM 1100.
He's been everywhere.
Yeah,
and I just put up the website, so gunsandthe71.com. Just you can hit that and go to it, and you'll be able to contact us with an email, which is guns@gunsandthe71.com. If you have a question for him, let us know. We're going to sift through them. We've got some coming in already because I put it out there. And I'm not. If it's not Second Amendment based, we're not going to ask.
I mean, some of them, I'll tell you
what,
we're going to get to some of them, Clay, but for the most part,
yep.
I mean, we can say how long it's going to take, but we don't know. But we're going to hit on, like I said, guns, Second Amendment, gun laws, what his beliefs are on that.
And it's not a gotcha. It's not a gotcha.
Right. Yeah.
We want to have a good discussion. I can tell you right now, so there's no qualms for everybody. Listen, I am a Rick Becker man. I will be supporting him in the primary. There's nothing the other guy can say that's going to change my mind, but I still think you ought to hear him out. I think that's just fair.
He's the endorsed candidate for the GOP. Yep. And I've heard him. I've talked to him today. The very personable guy, straightforward. Didn't seem like he was trying to hide nothing. It was absolutely 100%. When I asked him to come on, he was jacked up about it. Said he'd love to. In fact, he just got drawn for an elk tag too. He's got his elk tag.
Yeah.
So, But yeah, we're gonna talk about that, and if we can get into anything past that, you guys, we'll do it. And if somebody comes on in the comments and starts f-bombing them or something, I'll leave it up there, but I'm not going to read it. I don't want to be being a d-bag to the guy. But I'm on board with Clay. If we get to the primary and Rick doesn't win it and he's out, I'm going to vote for whoever the Republican is. I'll tell you.
I'll just say I will not vote for a Democrat. It's that
no.
Can't.
No,
even the worst Republican will be better than the best Democrat.
Yeah, I mean,
of the ones that are running.
Yeah. So, but yeah, get on, you guys. Saturday night, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain. Alex Balaz, GOP endorsed candidate for U.S. House of Representatives. He's going to be our guest. And you guys are. We encourage comments to come in over Second Amendment, heavy Second Amendment about it. So. That's going to be our thing. Or Matt Simon, he thinks he's a federal plant. I mean, I've heard that before too.
Yep.
I will, Matt. I'll promise you right now. We get into any other questions, Clay or I will ask him that because that is the most popular one I've seen about Mr. Balaz, and we will. Clayton, if I forget, you remember. Let's make sure and ask him that.
It's kind of like I told you in the pre-show before we come on air. The guy. There's a lot of unknowns about this guy. A lot of unknowns, and I tried to find a bunch of stuff out on him, and I can't find what I'm looking for. But
right.
With the things he was involved with, we might not be able to find it. But I'll let him. I mean, let him speak. Let him say. You guys can come to your own conclusions. I'm going to ask him serious questions on the Second Amendment issues because that's dear and near to me. And then if we get some time, we'll definitely go into some other things. But we will try to. We'll do our best, I think, Matt. That's one that I've heard so much that I think we need to ask him straight out. Let him answer it.
And if Clay or I don't get to it and we're getting towards the end, somebody bring that up and we will. But I'm pretty sure we'll remember that. Brian, it's Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Time.
Yep.
Doug says, where can we get Rick Becker? Doug, I think you gotta either talk to Clay or get in or go to Becker's main.
There are some people up there. I think Matt Simons has some. Yeah,
I seen him around. So
I've got some 4x8s and I've got some of the yard signs, but Matt's a lot closer to you Axe.
I'm not putting anybody's sign up till the primary's over. I mean, as of right now, and I'm fairly certain I'm gonna vote for Rick in the primaries. I mean, I don't know that anything's gonna stray me. Whatever Alex can say,
Well, and just to be fair on this deal. I know what Rick Becker's record is. He has a record of what I like. And
I mean, and to me, he does.
Like, I'm not gonna, Alex can say everything right, and he might actually be who he says he is, but I don't know that. Where with Rick, I have a record of proof that I know exactly, and it hasn't wavered. He's done the same thing, backed the same things, made changes when necessary, and he's my guy. I mean, he's the guy I'm going to back because he has a solid record.
And hey, guess what? And if you are kind of wavering, hey, listen in Saturday night. Alex might convince you to get on his team. And like I said, if he ends up being the GOP, if he wins the primary, I guarantee you there's going to be an Alex Balaz sign in my yard. I'll promise you that.
Well, and Matt, he says, I actually really appreciate you both bringing him on. And
thanks, buddy.
We appreciate it.
That.
We appreciate it. And we appreciate him coming on. And
I
can tell you, being you're having Alex on, I know we're going to have to get a hold of Rick and get him on. We've had Rick on this show before.
I told him that too. Actually, in my conversation of the day, I said, we want to have you on. I said, I'm pretty sure Clay and the guys are going to have Rick on a Wednesday. We had Rick on, actually one of our bigger shows there in that October when Rick was running. We had him on. And Clay, in fact, we had him on. I called, Andrea was his.
It'd be Andrea Tolman, I believe.
Yeah, right? Andrea Tolman. I called Andrea. Hey, Clay and I are filling in for Steve. Rick wants to come on.
Yep.
I want Rick to come on, and Rick came on, and we talked heavy guns and Second Amendment. And it was great.
Yeah, that's when we were over. Yeah, we did that on the radio. So, and guy, we can definitely have Rick on. I'm pretty sure Rick will come on here, and maybe we'll do a special deal like we're doing with Alex. Maybe more people would tune in.
Because I tell you what, I mean, Saturday. I mean, it's not the middle of summer, but I mean, in the Friday and Saturday shows we did. I mean, it's just like any other day, And if if a Democrat wants to come on the show, kiss my ass. No, I'm kidding. You can come on. You can come on if you want. It'd be fun for me and Clay because it's easy to destroy your guys' narrative.
If they come on, they are not going to be able to gaslight, and I will cut them off if they start being stupid. I will run a freaking freight train over
I
him.
mean, I'd just let them go because they're just going to bury the. I mean, yeah.
But
they're
it
not
would
gonna
be
come out with it.
interesting.
If you are a Democrat, get a hold of me or Clayton. Hey, we'll have you on. I guarantee it. But just bring it. Don't just bring it. I don't care if you get your minions in the comments or not, because we got our boys and girls in the comments too. So,
and let's remember, this is a Second Amendment based show for the most
right.
part, and that's what it'll be heavy on with anybody that comes on. And Brian says have Armstrong on, and we can talk to him.
Yeah,
I
Brian.
can tell you this, guys. We don't do a lot of that right here. We never have. We have some on, but yeah, and Coach, you know what? If he would want to come on, he's more than welcome to come on, and we can reach out to him. I know Coach pretty good. But
I'm waiting. I mean, if these guys want to come on, I mean, me and Clay, hey, you guys want to come on? I'd be more than happy to have Coachman on. Kelly, I'd love to have Kelly on, because I mean, I'm fairly certain Kelly's going to be the nominee, and
I am too.
He's
whether you like
2A,
him or not,
I mean,
guys. He does have a solid record on Second Amendment. Probably one of the better ones, as far as
I can
US
tell you
House.
this: there's a shitload of states with congressmen that would trade in a heartbeat with us. So,
yeah, exactly. So, yeah. So anyway, that's what our plan is for Saturday night, and then coming up next Wednesday, another special show.
Yeah, that's right. Wednesday. You guys got some guests on there. That's right, Clayton.
We do. We're gonna have David Sherwood on. David Sherwood, I got introduced to him through Kit when I was on her show up there in Grand Forks. And he tells the story best, and that's why we're going to have him on. We're also going to try to have this in conjunction, like we did one other time, with Here's the Deal. So we're going to try to do a complete simulcast right there, both of us, both our shows, to get the most people on there. Sounds like Ben Koppelman's in on this. We're going to have David on, of course, myself. Jamie, if you want to jump in there, you're sure welcome to.
I may do that.
And I believe Mike's going to join us, Deacons from Mitchell. But the guy had his guns taken away. He was going through a divorce. He's actually from New York State, moved out here to get away from that kind of crap, and then goes through a divorce out here. His guns were still at his ex-wife's home at the time when they put the protection order in. And we have to change some laws here in the state. South Dakotas are similar. So they went in and took his guns. He couldn't have a gun. The protection order stayed in place and expires here like on the 16th, I believe. As far as it going away for him. So, he's about at the end of his fight. He's went through the legal battles. He went to the North Dakota Supreme Court. So I'm going to let him tell that story. You're going to want to tune in for that show because I think it's going to be pretty interesting. And I'm very interested to see what Ben has. I know Ben talked to him tonight because he wanted to visit with him. I just got the text that they got done visiting. And awesome. I'm telling you, if this is the way it went down, we need to do some serious changes in the next session in our laws. We've done pretty good on protecting like our rights, but the guys that are going through these divorces and things like that, there's other things that come into play, and we need to address that. So,
yep. Yeah, hey, Clay, real quick, get that comment of Downs up there. I like that a lot.
It says, be nice to ask, how do you pronounce that?
Trigrev Hammer, how to reconcile his oath to defend the Constitution against his Democrat Party views. Dan, okay. I would freaking love to do that.
So I can't even tell you. I'm guessing he's the Democrat Party nominee.
Yeah, he's from Minot. I actually heard him on with Todd and the other guy there in the morning. Okay. You catch that, Clay? And
I heard that.
he was kind of holding his own on some softball questions, but even when the other guy threw out some, I wouldn't even say hard questions, the guy was struggling already, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, you're gonna be in trouble." He tries to play himself off as this middle of the road common sense Democrat. Nah. I mean, hey, Tiger, if you get wind of this, by all means, come on and prove me wrong. I mean, you got this engineering degree, and I'm just a rock-headed, knuckle-dragging gun nut here, so it should be easy to defeat me.
I'll have to hop online, get to his site, get to his contact people. I'd love to have him on because I'll ask him like I do every other candidate. What does the Second Amendment, what does it actually mean? Because there's only one
musket.
Yeah, there's only, like I told you, there's only one correct answer. And if it's any other answer, you're wrong. And I don't really care what you think because it was meant to defend us. We, the people, have a means to defend ourselves from tyranny and a tyrannical government. That is the intent. That has always been the intent, and it's not going to change. And it's been backed up now through some decisions we're getting closer to the original intent. So
Mm-hmm.
if they don't answer it, if they answer it any other way, they're FUD, and you can't trust them. That's the way it is.
Hey, what's wrong with my double barrel with my single shot? Yeah, Dan's right. He said he is a veteran running for the U.S. House. He's talking about Trigrave Hammer.
Yep.
I think he was a Navy guy. So we're going to have our own veteran. As a matter of fact, Alex Balaz, he is a veteran too, as a matter of fact. So, and check his website out. What is it? Alex for North Dakota, right, Clayton? Did you put
I'm not
that
even
up there?
sure. I mean, is that what it is? Alex for.
I tell you what, he's got a video up there, and there's a few things in there that impressed me. I'm not going to lie to you.
See if I can find it here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Alex for North. I sent it to my work. Well, let's just kind of hee-haw around here like we don't know. Hey, so guys, anyways, tomorrow. Mama Joe liked that. I said rock-headed knuckle dragging right winger. Yeah, gun nut. Yeah. It should be easy for any highly intelligent college-educated Democrat to make me look like a loser, right? So I'm gladly accept that challenge. I'll put my common sense and reality base up against any whatever how many year degree you got. So
there. So yeah, it is. All right, I found your text message with.
Oh, okay, here it is. Clay's gonna get it up here for.
Yeah.
Work your old magic, Clayton.
You can give us some background music.
The high-tech rednecks, but so we're getting towards the end of the show. Clay's digging around. He's going to get this up. I have 100% faith that my brother, man, Clay Peters, is going to get this up for us. Here it comes right here,
there it is.
as promised.
So there it is. This is what he looks like. This is he's got his brand new car hard on that he probably just bought. Anyway,
I will say that it does look fairly new.
Yes, it does. It doesn't look like mine. I can tell you that. He says he's got an unmatched record of service.
Which I did read it. It is impressive.
I mean, you guys can go through this, and he's got a video on there.
Yeah, that video's the one I want you to watch. And so a lot of people call America a democracy, and one thing he said made me feel good about what he said. So you just have to watch it.
So go check it out. He's got everything on here. I was going to look and see. Most candidates have a deal up here that says what their view.
Yeah, he's got like his one paragraph thing, and he's.
I mean, generally they've got a tab, and it says the issues.
Yeah, issues. Yeah,
and
he's got a right. So so that's kind of what we're talking about, right, Clay? He's kind of not. We're going to try to dig into that a little more for you on Saturday. So, but I mean, that's part of the. Maybe.
You know what? Hey, let's join. Let's join his email thing here. How about that?
Perfect. Well, I know he's got my cell number and my email, so we're going to send that link out to him Saturday. And like I said, guys, he's an extremely personable and easy guy to talk to. So,
all right,
I will say that.
Now we'll see what we get between now and then.
Yep. All right, Clay.
All right.
Awesome.
So anyway, there's our guy that we're going to be having on Saturday.
Yep, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain. Heavy Second Amendment. And Clay, what's the one question we're going to ask him?
The one question I'm going to ask him: what the Second Amendment means to him.
I meant from the listeners there. What did Matt?
We're going to ask him if he's a plant from the feds.
Right.
So, you know what,
Matt? I will tell Matt this right now before we sign. The state GOP told me that if he's a plant, it's not from anybody inside of this state. From people I know pretty good. I mean, so
I'm curious to hear how he answers it.
Yeah,
I really am.
Yeah, so we will. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good show, Clay. I usually drink a couple beers during the show. I'm just for the listeners. I'm not going to do it. So
tonight
I'm gonna drink water.
This was just regular water tonight.
Yeah, I'm going Clay Peterson Saturday night, just straight.
I'm telling you, after last week, drinks from the 701. Yeah, now.
What do they call it? A blue duck when you just go? No, that's blue dolphin, not a blue duck. Blue duck's some lonesome dove. Blue dolphin. Oh. All right, guys, Clayton, man, it was fun, man. I had a great show with you tonight. Yeah. This is freaking fun, man. Clay and I like to just like when we do Todd Mitchell's together.
Yep.
And with Clay and I talk, if anybody doesn't know, we still talk many times a week. It's I love doing these two shows. Yeah,
I know a lot of people thought there was an issue. There's never been an issue. Like I said, we probably talk 2-3 times a day.
Yeah.
Almost every day on different stuff going on with the different shows now, and that's what this is about. We created Guns in the 701 Productions, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to expand and hopefully have more people
working.
join the audience, and it seems to be working. Our base is growing, and we're proud to have everybody be part of it. That's been there since the beginning, especially like Axe and Laurado. They were there right from the beginning. Didn't even hesitate. So,
and everybody who's listening, man, we had like a lot of people watching, Clay. I always tell people, like, wow, I only saw it was like 25 people watch. I'm like, yeah, but you got to realize when the views come in later, not everybody's just like, hey, Guns in the 701's on, screw my family. No, a lot of people, a lot more between the podcasts and all the views on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. I can tell you right now, it's between 3 and probably to 600. Now, between 3 and 600 a week, it gets seen.
So I just pulled up a Rumble. I took a random one. The Drinks with the 701 last Friday. There's 116 views, and that doesn't count what was on platforms along with the reviews, and then on the podcast, it's been downloaded. And that's just one thing I picked. So I actually ran some numbers here a while back, and it's anywhere from 400 to 500 person reach right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty good for a brand new startup. That's, we're over a year old. We're going to come up on 2 years here in August, end of August. But I'm happy. We've had 3 listeners over there on Rumble here too tonight. That's been up and down. On an average, we get 10 to 15, sometimes 20. The other night we had 20 on there. So we're making it. I'm happy with.
And we haven't even advertised yet, Clay.
We don't even advertise.
We're gonna. We're just it ain't happening right now. So all right, guys. Probably went 30 minutes longer than I thought, but that's per usual. It was a good show. We had a good conversation, Clay. This was awesome, man. I loved it. Yeah. Appreciate everybody hanging in there. Yeah, anytime, brother. Anytime. I love you built your AR, and we were talking UTVs. It's easy to talk to you, Clay. All right. Thanks, everybody, again. Make sure you catch Clay and Mikey D tomorrow morning. Todd Mitchell in the morning, 8:40 a.m. Central, 7:40 a.m. Mountain. Mitchell in the morning, KFYR 550, 99.7 FM, iHeartRadio. And Clayton?
Keep your powder dry, everybody. We'll see you next week or at the next show coming up on Saturday.